Good afternoon, folks. Randy from Security Department here at NWTC, and today we're going to talk about the emergency supply kits. I'm sure you noticed over the last several months that these have been installed not only at the Green Bay campus, but the other two campuses and the other 7 regional learning centers, and now they're all filled and tamper tagged. If you'll notice, there's a small tag on the top hasp or latch. That's there for the only reason so when security or facilities walks by and we notice that tag's missing, that someone's been inside the box so we can check and make sure that everything that's needed is still in there. It pulls right away very easily when you want to open the box in the case of an emergency. Normally, use your first aid kit for Band-Aids and whatnot. If you do need a Band-Aid, please go ahead, go in the box, get yourself a Band-Aid. There's a form in here then that you can fill out, scan an email or deliver to the security department. We'll replace what was taken out and we'll put another little tamper tag on it. These items are actually meant for violent encounters or say severe weather incidents where we're going to be here for several hours, if not maybe days, God forbid, but maybe days. I'm going to go through what's in it real fast. I'll talk about some of the things they can be used for, some of the items, but your creativity is the limit of what these items can be used for in an emergency. First off, rubber gloves. Obviously, that's personal protection equipment. Tourniquet, obvious reasons, violent encounters, we may have more significant wounds beyond the Band-Aid level, and that might be some of the medical equipment we need. Scissors, for cutting things we need to cut, and obviously in a violent encounter could also be used as a weapon. A Sharpie, keeping records or marking down information, and a pencil, and a green and a red card. The green card is to be filled out if you're barricaded in a room where there's no injuries, and it's very self-explanatory. The red card is to be used if you're barricaded in a room where there is injuries. At the end of the event, when law enforcement is sure they have the area secure, you'll likely be told either by the dispatcher over a cell phone or in-house phone if they're still working, or an officer outside the door to slip one of these cards underneath the door. That way, especially when you're talking about a campus as big as Green Bay's, the officers can bring Med Rescue to the red cards right away and put a secondary priority on the green cards. As I said, very self-explanatory if you take a look at them when you need to fill them out. Whistle, so you don't lose your voice if you need to make a lot of noise over a long time, say a building collapse or something to that extent. Safety glasses, obviously, again, personal protective equipment if you need to knock a window out or if you have a biohazard. Jumbo wire ties, 10 of them. These can be used for all kinds of things. They can be used to help secure the door. They can be used to secure an individual that may be the problem for you if you overcome that individual. And outside of that, your own creativity. These come in handy for all kinds of things. A pair of gloves, gardening gloves in this case. Again, personal protective equipment should you have to cut something or, again, take out a window to effect an escape. You'd want these on, and obviously the glasses. Duct tape, it fixes everything. It certainly can be used to secure doors, secure people, tape garbage bags over open windows so nobody can see through the windows. Again, the uses here are pretty much countless. Toilet paper, for an obvious use for the most part. Personal hygiene, if it gets to be hours, and you drink coffee like I do, it's probably going to be inevitable. Tampax. There should be 5 in this box. There is 3 more here. Obviously personal hygiene, but also bullet wounds. One of the best devices ever produced to stop bullet wounds. Along with maxi pads. Very absorbent. They can be taped down over large wounds, cut wounds or bullet wounds, and they do a much better job of helping put the pressure on and stop the bleeding than what some of the Band-Aids or just gauze wrap, such as this, and first aid tape to go over the top to hold it there if you're going to need to do that for a long period of time. Obviously, Small bandages, I believe there's 16 in that pack. An emergency blanket, most likely for a case of shock. But, I don't know, might get cold and you need something to keep yourselves all warm. A half a roll of paper towel, because the full roll just put us out of volume. For cleanup and also for help with bloodborne pathogens, all those kind of things. A flashlight, for obvious reasons. 550-pound test parachute cord. Securing a person, securing a door, using it as a cord to descend from a second story if you're able to remove the window. Again, here, your creativity is the only limit to what this can be used for. 5 garbage bags, covering windows, personal hygiene, I might come to that point, and that's all that's there. And again, your creativity, and a hammer, obviously both for removing a window if you need to escape, or it could be used as a weapon if the violent encounter is about to breach that door and you have no other choice. Again, please don't worry about these little things. If you're curious and you just want to see, you have one in your office or one in your classroom, by all means, please open it up and take a look. Just let us know and we'll gladly come by and put another tag on it. But in case of minor injuries, day-to-day kind of scrapes or cuts, please use the first aid kit first. We'd really appreciate it. As always, if you have any questions, please call the security desk. We're always ready to help. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Districts Mutual Insurance who provided the grant, otherwise this wouldn't be happening.